I have over 1,600 hours in speedrunning Super Mario Odyssey, so I'm going to rank every capture in the game. And even if you disagree with what will be my tier list, let's keep it civil with the debates. I would love to hear your opinions. All right, first is the rocket ship. So the rocket ship, nothing super fancy about it, but it gets a mustache. And I think that's kind of cool. They typically just take you to sub areas. That's all they do. That will be in C tier. All right, next chat is the tree. Okay, so this is the tree that you capture. You can only move it a certain distance, and it doesn't even get a mustache. And once you're done capturing it, you can't get it back. So, D. I believe the next one is just a rock. Similarly, you can't do anything with this. And once you move it as far as possible, it's gone. No mustache, no nothing. So I am going to put rock lower in D tier. Okay, next is a zipper. Now the zipper, I know what you're thinking. There's no mustache. So I'm probably gonna rank it low. This is satisfying. Like, if you have controller rumble on, this is actually just like satisfying. So I'm actually pretty cool with this one. I think it's a little unique. No mustache, but it's pretty cool. So cool, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next we have fork. I actually like the fork captures. They get the mustache. They have like that cute little like handkerchief. And honestly, the capture is just fun. You can do this, you get the cool little vibration, and you just flick. And this sub area is one of my favorite sub areas. So I think that the fork capture is going to be an S from me. Now the fire piranha, I hate it. I actually hate it. And I hate it because it's too easy to kill. Like, the fact that you have to throw a rock in its mouth to then capture it is awful. Now it's cool because you can also hit the fire. Most people don't know that, but you can hit the fire. There's no cool movement options with it either. It's pretty impractical. Coolest thing about it is it gets a stash. So I think we are going to put the fire piranha in C tier, as well as the poison piranha. They're both basically like the same thing. And I think the rocket's at least a little more unique because you wouldn't think we would have captured a rocket. All right, next up is Glydon. Glydon is already a W. When he walks, he's so happy. But the biggest thing that Glydon has going for him is that he also can allow us to skip all of this nonsense in Darker Side. And so because of this and this skip here, Glydon will be soaring himself into S tier. You know what? Top of S tier. All right, next up we have Pole. Now Pole is like a way worse version of Fork. It does everything that the Fork does, basically. And there's no mustache. That part's cool that you can fling. It's cool for like momentum parts, but like because Fork clears, this one is actually just gonna be a C tier. It's not a D tier, but it's like literally just a Fork, but worse. No, there's no flavor to it. So we are gonna just rank both Cheep Cheeps now. There's the red Cheep Cheeps and the purple Cheep Cheeps. Now the purple Cheep Cheeps are in snow. They're colder. They can swim in cold water. So that's cool. But this Cheep Cheep is a little more broken. I do like the look of the Cheep Cheeps. The reason that this Cheep Cheep is going to get the edge over Snow Cheep Cheep is because this one specifically allows us to clip. And we can get out of bounds here. Can't really do that in snow that I'm aware of. So because of that, red Cheep Cheep will be slightly above the Snow Cheep Cheep. Both are very respectable A's. Now screw this. We're having a change of heart. Water levels suck. And this allows us to move faster going in S. They're not top of the S, but they're going here. They're moving up in the world because you can swim fast, and I hate swimming levels. All right, so we are going to take out all three chain chomps right now. You have The standard Chain Chomp, the one that you need to get the first moon if you're not going to be clipping. Chain Chomps, you can't really take them anywhere. They have the one sub area that's about geometry. So like overall, I don't know, nothing crazy about the Chain Chomps, nothing awful. I don't really hate them. And then you have the big Chain Chomp. Now, there's really nothing making these two any different from each other besides size and like, I don't know. I guess size could matter in my ratings. I like dogs. I like Chain Chomps. I do like them more than the Rocket too. I'll put them in low B. I'll make the bigger one worse because the smaller one's at least also used in the sub area. This one is going to blow your mind. So next up, we have Gold Chain Chomp. Now, Gold Chain Chomp is underrated for one reason and one reason alone. Check this out. You hear the music? You hear the music, right? The boss fight music? When you capture the Chain Chomp, it adds barking to the music. Like, on rhythm, it has its own thing. So, like, because of that, the Golden Chain Chomp is superior. Golden Chain Chomp is going to be our first candidate to the A tier. So the next thing on the tier list is going to be both the picture matches. We'll just knock them both out because they're both here anyway. Now, the Mario picture match, I don't know. You can have fun with them, but like if you have too much fun with them, you ruin everything, and then it's gonna be like, no, you know, like it's gonna be like, oh, you failed, and that's not cool. I don't know. I'm not huge into the Mario picture match. It's better than the tree and the rock, but it's a D. Now the Goomba picture match is a little different. I actually like this one a little more because we have a happy Goomba and we won. So that's a smile from me. And because of that, it's still below the pole. It's low C. Okay, so next we have Tropical Wigglers. And Tropical Wigglers are very adorable. They're very goofy looking. And the best part about them is that they are like accordions. It's creative. And I like creativity. I don't think it's anything like mind-blowing. So I am going to put the Tropical Wiggler. I'm going to put it a high A. So, New Donk City Power Puzzle Part. Say that 5 times fast. I don't care. It's just a puzzle part. That's all this is. It's just kind of boring. So, we're going to have another D tier capture. And honestly, oh man, like it has more function, I guess, but I don't know. Put above tree and rock, but like I'm not like crazy about it. All right, next up we have the Moai. I mean, the Moai, I feel like it's really hard to hate them. Then they move, their mouth moves, they get the stash, and they can also look super swag. Who wants to mess with this? And look, he even does that looking animation on his own. I didn't even do that. That's just him. The Moai is going to be an S tier behind Glydon. All right, so next we have the Goomba. Now the Goomba, tried and true, classic Mario enemy from like, you know, the very beginning, essentially. Now, what I like about the Goomba is that he can vector and like get this kind of speed. He can jump way taller than his height, and they can stack. And stacking the Goombas is kind of cool. It's kind of funny. And like you end up controlling the bottom one. I don't know how that works in this control scheme thing with Mario. Look, you can get a 4-stack of Goomba. Because of all that, we are going to rank the Goomba low A. All right, next up we have Dry Bones. Now, Dry Bones I actually really like. I think Dry Bones is a nice feature in this game. I think it's used pretty properly. I enjoy the fact that you can fly really fast as Dry Bones, and it still gives him the stash. And even though he's dead, I don't know. I just really dig Dry Bones. I like the movement. I like how it's in the Moon Cave. Dry Bones is going to be a low S. All right, next up we have Binoculars. You can't even rotate the camera like while you're in them. You can't even see how you look. You just grab them and you can look around. If anything, I guess it's kind of like an ode to Rob. So I don't know. I don't think it's really that cool. It's better than Pole. Look at it. At least it's sentient. All right, I'm not gonna go fight Knuckle Attack. Knuckle Attack Fist, whatever. Like I don't know. Just another Mario hand fight, whatever. This could be a D. Has a little more usefulness. Better than a picture match. Okay, so next up is coin coffer. Typically invisible till you see. They don't really do much. And their attack costs you money. It's also the proud reason for one of the worst moons in the game. This plant here, which takes 500 coins. So you just have to be shaking and shaking because it's the fastest way. Because of that moon alone, it kind of falls. Oh, that's a cute animation though. Hold up. It just won some points with that. I'm not even joking. It's better than Goomba picture match. It's worse than pole. Okay, so next up is the sewer drain. And you can just move it there. That's all it is. It's just another thing. So because it's just another thing, it's worse than a tree, better than a rock. All right, next up in this egg, we have our good friend Yoshi. Now, normally, you wish you could just ride Yoshi. You can't. You capture Yoshi. And Yoshi is probably the biggest disappointment of a capture in this game. I just don't think it's a good capture. Love Yoshi. Capture? I don't know. Fine, I'll just put Yoshi at D. Can be the king of D tier. It's just a disappointment. D for disappointment. All right, next up, we have the RC car capture. And the RC car capture is technically capturing a human. I don't know. While the car can be fun in the race, it's the fact that we're also capturing a human. That's kind of messed up. It's more fun than the piranha. I'll give it a C. Okay, and next up we have the Fire Bro. I actually kind of dig the Fire Bro. I've always liked Fire Bros. I don't know. I always think that they're pretty fun. You can move around with them. You can hop with them. You throw fire, which is less RNG based than the Pam Bro. There's just something about the Fire Bro. And also, he's got some good hair. I like it more than Tropical Wiggler. Fire Bro's high A. Now, while we're at it, Pam Bro is basically the same. However, the only thing I really do not like about the Pam Bro is that there's far much more RNG involved in throwing these pans. So I'm actually going to throw the Pam Bro. I'm going to throw it in B below the zipper. I just think Fire Bro clears. All right, next up, we have the Turnip Boy. Stretchy leg boy. It's actually pretty useful. I kind of enjoy the movement with the Turnip Lad. You can get some momentum if you land correctly, like on a slope, and then when you land, you actually won't have the stop time. And overall, I think it's just a pretty fun capture. I like its uniqueness. Yeah, no, I just think this capture is honestly really good. Okay, so with this capture, I'm going to throw it as the third favorite capture behind the Moai. All right, next up we have the Pokio. Pokio is actually just another capture that's really fun. You can move around with the Pokio, and the Pokio is going to be better than the fork capture because it kind of does what the fork capture does, except you're more mobile with it. So I really enjoy the Pokio. The movement, it can cause damage. And so the Pokio is actually going to take the top spot above Glidon. All right, next up we have the Podoboo capture. And the Podoboo capture is actually really fun to move with. The only issue is obviously you have to be where there's either lava or magma or anything along these lines, Pepto-Bismol, etc., etc. But the movement's really clean. Going through those areas is really cool. And if you miss, you die. Dry Bones is more versatile because Dry Bones you can technically take anywhere. This has to be in fire. I think I'm going to put the Podoboo as high A. The meat capture's pretty goated. Not going to lie. Everyone likes the meat capture. It gets a mustache, as you can see here. Is actually going to be one of those rare inanimate objects that actually gets a good rating. I won't put it above the Goomba, but it'll be an A. Now, the Jizo is underrated because if you look at the statue before you capture it and then after, not only does it turn to Mario, you even get the little Tanuki tail. That's pretty awesome. I really like that detail. If I was going solely off of movement with this, by the way, for anyone wondering, obviously, there's really not much you can do. You hop with it. This would be a lower tier. So because of that and all that stuff, I am going to put Tanuki in B above the Chain Chomps. Next up, we have the big reveal trailer capture, the dinosaur. Dinosaur is a classic Mario Odyssey capture. It gets the mustache. It has the hat. It's derpy. The only thing I don't like about the dinosaur is the fact that you get put on a timer that after a certain amount of time, it just auto kicks you out. But overall, I think we all know that this capture is indeed a W. So as a result, I am going to put the dinosaur above the Moai. Okay, so next up we have the Blowy Joey. Now the Blowy Joey, I don't know. It's like, it's cool aesthetically. Obviously, it has the way you can blow the blocks and like spinies off and stuff like that. But like overall, I never really vibed with it in the beginning. The only cool thing that you can really do with the Blowy Joey is like this. And you can clip in, put it at high C. Okay, next up we have a cactus. Now the cactus, like everything else that's been an inanimate object, it doesn't get a mustache and you can only move it so far. And then you can't even recapture it once it forces you out. I like the tree more. So I don't know. I'll put it below the tree. All right, next up we have Mr. Bullet William. Now the nice thing about bullet bills are that you can travel some distance with them. Unfortunately, they are on a timer like that. But overall, I think they are a pretty fun capture. They're fun to utilize. And because of that, I am going to put the bullet bill as an A. All right, so next up, we free our football playing boy, Charge and Chuck. Charge and Chuck does not get used enough in this game. And it's kind of unfortunate, but I really do enjoy the aspect of this. And he just keeps sprinting. Yeah, he can't jump, can't do anything but this. But the fact that he can do this non-stop is pretty cool. I wish he had a bit more uses, but I mean, overall, I really like him as a capture. I think I like him more than the zipper, but not enough to be an A. All right, next up, we have the taxi. All it does is take you to a sub area, but you can see it gets the stash. That's important for my ranking of inanimate objects. This will take the cake of inanimate objects, and this will be moved to above the block. Right next door, we have the letters to spell Mario. These are literally just letters. The cool thing about them is like there's jump rope glitch that can be done with them from people. This one will still go below the taxi, but it is the second best inanimate object. All right, so next up we have the frog. Classic. It's adorable. I love the frog. The movement is actually fun as the frog. You can do the vector jumps. The frog actually used to be part of one of the most broken glitches in the game when the game first came out. You could actually skip the entirety of Darker Side by using the frog. Now, at that point, I didn't like that because that's pretty anticlimactic to me. But overall, the frog is a very fun capture, and it also has its own cutscene. So I am going to put the frog at a high A tier. Okay, so now we have just another puzzle piece. I don't know, it basically moves the exact same. It's literally just another puzzle. Technically, this came before the cube, but there's something more charming about the cube to me. So I will take this and put this below the cube. Next up, we have the Bonsai Bill. The Bonsai Bill, I just think is worse than the Bullet Bill. It has less uses. You can only use it in certain areas, and it just, I don't know, it feels less practical to be the Bonsai Bill than it does to be the Bullet Bill. I don't think it's a bad capture by any means. I just don't think it's as good as the standard Bullet Bill. So I think I'm actually going to put the Bonsai Bill in low B. B for Bonsai. All right, next up we have Lakitu. Now Lakitu, it could be a good capture. You're always limited with where you can move with Lakitu, and is home to the worst moons because RNG fishing is not that fun. And you have to have your controller vibration on, and I don't know. I think Lakitu looks really cute with a mustache, but overall, I just think it's an all right capture. Yeah, I feel like they could have done more. I will put Lakitu in B tier. I'll put it above the Jizo. The Paragoomba and the Goomba are pretty similar, except for the fact that one you can stack and vector with, and this one you can just fly with. I think I enjoy the vector jumping a little bit more, and I like the ability to stack. So I am going to put the Paragoomba right below the Goomba. All right, and next up, we have a Chivarian. Now, I like the Chivarian just because I think the bounding is pretty fun. It is a very cool concept, and the races are just honestly a good time. Like, even as a casual player, as a speedrunner, you get to do guessing games with them whenever I'm doing speed runs. And overall, I think it's just a fun capture. It's a cute little guy. And look at him roll. He just rolls. Some people call these things snoodles, but that's not correct. It's just a Chevarian. Just a little nickname. I wish its name was Snoodle. So we are going to rank the Chevarian above the Moai, but below the dinosaur. It is as an S tier capture. Okay, so next up we have the Gushin capture. And the Gushin's actually a really fun capture. It honestly, just like, it moves really well. The only downside is obviously that you need water. If you run out of water, you don't touch a body of water to refill, then you just kind of get to the worst movement in the game, which is like this. You know, this is pretty brutal. This is an S tier capture. I really enjoy this. It's better than the Moai. It's better than a Chevarian Racer. All right, next up, we have the Bowser statue. Now, there's nothing really cool about this. You literally just wiggle a statue, and it reveals a movement. You know, I don't know why. I still just like the tree. There's something about the tree I like, but it's better than a cactus. All right, next up, we have the Sherm. Sherm is all right. I mean, it just sends you kind of into a shooter mode, which I kind of enjoy. You can either aim with the camera stick, or you can just aim with gyro controls, whichever is faster to you. I enjoy being able to just blow things up, so that's kind of cool. And I think it's overall a solid capture. I am going to put the Sherm a high B. Okay, next up isn't anything too crazy. We have the Pylon, which it's the first forced capture that you have in the game, because you can skip the frog room without capturing the frog. And when you go to the Cap Kingdom, you have to capture a Pylon. A nice little detail about the Pylon is when you're moving as the electric ball going through, the tone of the movement matches whatever song is playing. So if you ever listen carefully to while you're using the Pylon, it's always going to go based off of like what matches where the song currently is. It's a nice little touch. And even though it has a nice little touch, I just think it only puts it above a rocket ship. And last but not least, we have the big man himself, Bowser. Now, this is probably one of the best parts. I love the Bowser capture specifically because this cutscene is just really cool. It takes you through a journey, all the Mario games in the past and stuff like that, you know, different Mario, different versions of Bowser. And yeah, you know, I think that's a really nice charm. I wish you could be Bowser in more places. I know that there are mods that allow you to be Bowser in more places, but Bowser is honestly a W of a capture, and it's just a fun time. Bowser is my favorite. I know, it's a cliche, best for last, but Bowser is actually my favorite capture, and it was a whole whoa moment, you know? I don't know, the experience casually. There you have it. This is my Super Mario Odyssey all captures tier list. And I know that some of these takes are probably pretty hot to you, and some of them you probably agree with. So I look forward to hearing back what your thoughts are on my tier list and what changes you would make. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Even if we disagree, we can all be friends. And I will catch you in the next video.